When the queen of hustle, Tiny Harris, dropped her latest bombshell, the internet didn't just react. It exploded. Out of nowhere, whispers turned into headlines. Tiny secretly married? And the man at the center of this chaos? None other than the king of the South himself, T.I., who went from calm to completely shattered. Live. In front of millions. This wasn't just drama. This is Atlanta history unfolding in real time. We're talking about the same couple who survived scandals, rumors, and reality TV chaos, now being torn apart by a secret that makes the Kardashians look like choir girls. The man who once rapped about loyalty, love, and legacy? He's now the face of heartbreak. Crying on live, pleading for answers that the internet already claims to know. Fans are calling it the downfall of hip-hop's royal couple. Others say it's karma finally catching up to the king, but one thing's for sure, the secret marriage rumor didn't come out of nowhere. It came with receipts, reactions, and pure emotional devastation. So buckle up. Because this ain't just a breakup, it's a full-blown betrayal saga that's got Hollywood, Atlanta, and every gossip page in the world on fire. Let's rewind the madness to where it all began. A quiet afternoon that turned into a viral storm faster than you can say family hustle drama. For years, fans have watched Tiny Harris and T.I. weather storms, scandals, and social media chaos like true Southern royalty. They've been through arrests, reality show arguments, and public makeups that put soap operas to shame. But this time, this wasn't about a rumor or a misunderstanding. This was about a secret marriage, a story so wild it shattered the internet like it owed rent. It started with a mysterious post that popped up on the Shade Room. No caption, no context. Just a blurry photo of Tiny in what looked suspiciously like a white wedding gown, standing next to a man who definitely wasn't T.I. Within minutes, the comment section turned into a virtual riot. Fans typed in all caps, "Wait, is this real? Tiny got married? Where's Tip?" At first, everyone thought it was clickbait, maybe an old photo shoot or a reality show stunt. But then came the receipts. A close friend of Tiny's allegedly leaked a message saying, "It's true. She's been seeing someone privately for months." The ceremony was quiet, just family and close friends. Boom, the internet collectively lost its mind. Twitter went nuclear. Memes flew faster than breaking news alerts. One meme showed T.I. holding a mic crying, captioned, "Even the king of the South can't control the queen's heart." Another said, "T.I. thought he had a family hustle. Turns out Tiny had a side hustle." And then it happened, the moment that made this rumor undeniable. T.I. went live. He sat there, face serious, eyes red, energy off. No entourage, no setup, no filters, just a man, his phone, and a heartbreak broadcast to millions. "I ain't gonna lie to y'all," he said, voice cracking. "When you give your all to somebody and the world start talking like you was never enough, that'll break any man." The comment section exploded. Fans were divided. Half heartbroken for him, half skeptical. Half laughing at how fast this drama unfolded. "Yeah, that's three halves, but welcome to the internet." He kept talking. Pacing, sighing, fighting back tears. "I done made mistakes, sure. But one thing I ain't never been is disloyal to the one I love." That line alone hit like a gunshot through social media timelines. Clips spread everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Edits popped up with sad R&B music underneath. Hashtags like hashtag unfaithful Tiny, hashtag pray for T, and hashtag marriagegate trended for hours. The public was eating it up like Sunday gossip at brunch. And if you think this all came out of thin air, oh no. Fans have been noticing tension for weeks. Tiny had been posting cryptic quotes like "peace is better than promises," and "some love is meant to end quietly." Meanwhile, T.I. had been sharing videos about self-reflection and moving in silence. Looking back, it's like watching a slow-motion car crash. The signs were all there. Then a TikTok influencer named a hip-hop T-Queen dropped a full exposed video. Tiny's secret life, the truth T.I. didn't see coming. She claimed that Tiny's new husband was an old friend from her early music days, someone who'd always been around but never in the spotlight. She even pulled out old tour photos and connected dots like a crime scene investigator. The theory? Tiny had quietly reconnected with this man while T.I. was busy with business projects, comedy shows, and podcast appearances. While Tip was trying to reinvent himself, Tiny was allegedly rebuilding her peace with someone who didn't come with the baggage of fame. Suddenly, the story wasn't just about infidelity, it was about revenge, redemption, and reclaiming power. Fans started debating like it was a presidential election. Team T.I. said she should have never embarrassed him like that. Team Tiny clapped back. He embarrassed her first. Old clips resurfaced from T.I. and Tiny, the family hustle showing their heated arguments and awkward silences. People started rewriting history in real time, saying the signs had been there since day one, and while this fire was burning online, paparazzi spotted Tiny out in public, smiling unbothered, wearing sunglasses big enough to hide any reaction. When a reporter shouted, "Tiny, is it true you got married?" she simply said, "I'm happy. That's all that matters." Boom, mic drop. That one sentence was enough to fuel another week of chaos. The blogs, the podcasts, the Twitter detectives, everyone wanted to know, who's the mystery man? Where's the marriage license? Is T.I. playing victim, or did he finally meet his match? Meanwhile, T.I. reportedly turned down interviews, posting only one cryptic story. Sometimes when you lose what you thought you wanted, you find what you needed. Fans didn't know whether to cry, clap, or meme it. But here's the kicker. Right when people thought it couldn't get messier, another leak dropped. A private DM allegedly between Tiny and a celebrity stylist surfaced. In it, Tiny said, "I didn't mean for it to go public, but I couldn't keep pretending. I deserve peace." And just like that, the internet flipped again. Suddenly, Tiny wasn't the villain, she was the woman who'd had enough. This wasn't just celebrity drama anymore, it was a cultural moment. People were writing think pieces about women walking away from long-term relationships. Podcasts were dissecting their marriage like a forensic case. And fans were arguing about emotional equality in hip-hop couples. Meanwhile, T.I.'s live replay crossed 10 million views. Commenters couldn't stop quoting him. One fan wrote, "You can tell he's hurting. That's not acting." Another said, "He's finally realizing fame don't protect you from heartbreak." Every generation has its celebrity implosion, and this was 2025's crown jewel. Forget reality TV, forget scripted drama. This was real emotion, raw pain, and public breakdown all wrapped into one viral masterpiece. By the end of that night, Tiny's name was trending in 10 countries. Every gossip outlet had her face on their thumbnail. And T.I., the once untouchable king of the South, looked like a man dethroned by love itself. But hold up, the story was far from over. Because just when everyone thought they had it figured out, new footage leaked from inside Tiny's so-called secret wedding. The guest list, the location, the hidden faces, it all pointed toward a betrayal that was way deeper than fans imagined. And once those details hit the blogs, this heartbreak turned from rumor to revolution. Because the next part of the story wasn't just about love, it was about power, pride, and the one thing no king can ever control. A queen who's done playing by his rules. When the leaked footage finally dropped, it didn't just shake the internet, it blew it up. What fans saw was straight out of a reality TV fever dream. A candlelit backyard ceremony, expensive decor, and Tiny walking down an aisle in a flowing champagne-colored gown. The kicker? The man waiting for her at the end wasn't T.I. It was someone the blogs quickly identified as Tyrone M., a longtime family acquaintance and former music producer who'd quietly worked with Xscape years ago. Within minutes, hashtags like #TinyWeddingLeak and #Tyrone who took over X, TikTok, and YouTube. Clips racked up millions of views in hours. Fans dissected every frame, the rings, the guest list, even the background music. Someone slowed the footage down and swore they saw one of Tiny's cousins whisper, "She finally did it." That one sentence became the spark for 100 conspiracy threads. T.I., meanwhile, was silent, too silent. The same man who could turn any scandal into a speech suddenly went radio silent. No interviews, no lives, no posts. Just one black and white picture on his Instagram story that said, "A man can lose everything except his dignity, until someone he loves takes that too." Cue the internet meltdown. Fans flooded the comments. That's pain. This man's heart is in pieces. Uncle T finally got humbled by love. The memes hit a new level of disrespectful genius. One showed T.I. sitting on the throne from Game of Thrones with the caption, "Even kings get dethroned." Another had Tiny photoshopped as Beyoncé walking away from him with the text, "If I were a boy, I'd still leave expeditiously." But the shockwave wasn't just online, it hit the celebrity circle hard. Atlanta insiders were whispering that T.I. had found out about the wedding the same day it leaked. According to sources, he got the news from a mutual friend who attended, not from Tiny herself. Imagine being T.I., logging into Instagram, and watching your ex-wife of nearly 2 decades walk down the aisle with another man, live, trending and looped with slow-mo heartbreak filters. Break filters. If that's not emotional assassination, what is? Within 24 hours, everyone from Boosie Badazz to Kandi Burruss was weighing in. Boosie went live and said, "Man, that boy Tip probably somewhere writing a whole R&B album right now." Kandi, Tiny's former bandmate, posted a cryptic message. "Sometimes peace comes with distance." And that's okay. Fans were split down the middle. Half the internet screamed, "Let Tiny live." The other half yelled, "How could she do Tip like that?" Podcasts went into overdrive. Hollywood Unlocked ran a segment titled "Tiny's Silent Revenge, the Marriage That Broke the South." The Neighborhood Talk posted side-by-side photos of Tiny's new man versus T.I. with the caption, "From the trap house to the townhouse." Brutal, and if that wasn't messy enough, Charlamagne thanked God threw gasoline on the fire. On The Breakfast Club, he said, "T.I. used to talk like he invented loyalty. Now his wife married somebody else before he could even finish his podcast episode on relationships." The irony is poetic. Twitter agreed. Someone replied, "That's karma in 4000. But while the internet laughed, people close to T.I. painted a darker picture. Rumor had it he was spiraling, skipping meetings, avoiding calls, locking himself in his studio. Friends claimed he was recording nonstop, venting in his music like a man possessed. Insiders leaked a snippet of a song allegedly titled "No More Home." The lyrics? "She moved on, said love don't pay bills. Guess being a king don't stop heartbreak still." The track hit social media and fans went wild. The same man who once rapped about power and success was now giving them vulnerability, and they loved it. The heartbreak made him human again. Meanwhile, Tiny kept playing it cool, no emotional posts, no reactions. Instead, she uploaded a photo of her hand wearing a new diamond ring. Captioned simply, "Peace looks good on me." That single post racked up over 2 million likes in a day. People started speculating that Tiny's new marriage wasn't about love at all. It was about closure. A symbolic goodbye to an era where she'd been overshadowed by T.I.'s fame. "She spent years being Mrs. Harris," one fan wrote. "Now she's reminding the world she's Tinka, the boss." Even feminist blogs jumped in, calling it a new chapter for women reclaiming their narrative. Others weren't so kind, labeling it emotional warfare. But the most jaw-dropping moment came when a leaked audio recording surfaced, allegedly a private phone call between Tiny and one of her old friends. You could hear her saying, "I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I just want to be happy, and if my happiness ain't with him, I can't fake it for the cameras anymore." That line went viral instantly. It hit like a confession and a eulogy all at once. Podcasts broke it down for hours. Fans wrote essays about emotional liberation, and memes depicted T.I. sitting in a dark room with a caption, "When you finally realize she meant it this time." Then, out of nowhere, another video dropped, this time showing T.I. in his studio, visibly emotional but trying to stay composed. He said, "It's easy to judge a man when he's broken. But just remember, every crown get heavy. Every king got a night he don't sleep." That one quote reignited the internet's sympathy. The same people who mocked him started posting #StayStrongTip. The comments turned from laughter to compassion. "Man, this ain't funny no more. Dude really hurt." And that's when it hit everyone. This wasn't just gossip anymore. This was a cultural reckoning. The South's royal couple, once the definition of ride or die, had officially crashed in real time. But then came the final blow. A news outlet claimed to have obtained marriage certificate filed under her maiden name. The date? Just a week after her last public appearance with T.I., that revelation turned heartbreak into scandal. People accused her of cheating, lying, double living. Others defended her, saying she'd emotionally checked out long ago. No matter what side you were on, the chaos was addictive. Even celebrities who swore they'd stay out of it couldn't help themselves. Snoop Dogg commented, Man, love will make you crazy. I feel tip though. Tamer Braxton tweeted, Tiny said BYE and meant it this time, honey. The gossip machine was spinning faster than ever. News channels, fan accounts, even gossip AI pages were generating new takes every hour. It was unstoppable, the internet equivalent of a wildfire, but deep down, you could sense it, something was about to flip again. T.I. had been quiet too long. And if there's one thing the King of the South doesn't do, it's stay silent forever. Because if there's one universal truth in hip-hop history, it's this: you can embarrass a rapper. You can humble him, but you can't count him out. The internet had crowned Tiny the winner. But the King was about to remind the world that comebacks are his specialty, and when T.I. finally broke his silence, he didn't just talk. He erupted. When T.I. finally broke his silence, he didn't post a long statement. He didn't run to a podcast, and he definitely didn't sit down for a teary red table confession. No, the King of the South did what he's always done best. He went straight to the mic at midnight. A new track mysteriously appeared on YouTube and SoundCloud. No promo, no warning, just the title. Dear Tamka, the truth hurts. The thumbnail was pure pain, black and white photo. A lone wedding ring on a marble counter, and in the corner, the faint reflection of a tear rolling down someone's cheek. Fans clicked faster than bots on a sneaker drop. The beat came in slow and haunting, piano keys dripping like heartbreak. And then Tip's voice cut through. I gave you the throne and the crown, you gave me silence, then burned the town. I built the kingdom, we wore the gold, but love don't shine when the heart get cold. Within 5 minutes, the song hit 1 million plays. People flooded the comments calling it the realest thing he's ever written. Others said, you can hear his soul breaking in every bar. Even critics who laughed at his earlier meltdown had to admit this wasn't just music. It was confession, redemption, and therapy rolled into one. And just when fans thought the track was only about heartbreak, the second verse flipped it completely. Tip started naming names, not directly, but through metaphors slick enough to make the internet decode every line like detectives. One lyric said, a friend turned lover, a ring turned weapon. Another? The house ain't home when the queen playing chess in another room. Everyone knew who he was talking about within an hour. The track hit every blog, every gossip page, and every trending chart on social media. Hashtag Dear Tamka climbed to #1 on X, even artists started reposting it. Rick Ross commented fire emojis. 2 Chainz said, that pain sound expensive. Killer Mike tweeted, real men hurt loud too. I didn't stop there. He followed the song with a raw Instagram live, but this time it wasn't rage, it was reflection. He looked tired, drained, like a man who'd finally run out of armor. I ain't here to bash nobody. I just had to speak my truth. Sometimes love don't end with hate, it ends with hurt. But I'll always respect what we had. For the first time in this whole circus, fans went quiet. The comments weren't jokes, they were support. Respect. He finally speaking like a grown man. We felt that. Meanwhile, Tiny was nowhere to be seen. No posts, no lives, just silence, which, in celebrity terms, is louder than a scream. Her new husband, or alleged husband, locked down his pages, turned off comments, and disappeared faster than a rumor in court. It was like she'd vanished right when the world was watching and then, plot twist. TMZ dropped exclusive footage from a private party in Atlanta. The video showed T.I. on stage performing Dear Tamka for the first time, raw, unplugged, eyes closed. Midway through the performance, he stopped, looked straight into the crowd, and said, no matter what happens, I still got love for her. But that chapter's over, and this is the last time I cry about it. Mic drop. The audience went wild. Phones went up. Tears were shed. It was the type of moment that turns pain into legend. Within hours, clips from the show flooded every corner of the internet. Fans called it the redemption of T.I. Others said, that man just healed in front of the world. But here's where it gets crazy. The same night, Tiny liked a post on Instagram with the caption, sometimes you gotta lose a king to find your crown. Boom. Just like that, round 3 of the chaos began. Fans split again, half cheering Tiny for standing her ground, the other half calling her cold-hearted. Comment sections turned into emotional war zones. She heartless. One user wrote, he deserved better. Another said, she's free. Let her be happy. It was the modern-day Romeo and Juliet if Romeo had an iPhone and Juliet had a PR team. But this time, T.I. didn't take the bait. He stayed calm, kept posting about growth, fatherhood, and legacy. He even posted a picture with his kids captioned, "They my reason. Everything else is just noise." It wasn't just a flex, it was evolution. The man who once raged at the internet now sounded like he'd found peace in the storm. The memes slowed down, the gossip cooled, and something unexpected happened. Respect returned. Podcasts started praising his maturity. Media outlets wrote headlines like T.I. turns, heartbreak into healing. Even fans who'd clowned him were calling it a comeback. But the final twist, the one that nobody saw coming, dropped. A week later when Tiny went live, calm, collected, and speaking like someone finally ready to end the war. She said, "Me and Tip had years of love, years of pain, years of growing. Sometimes two people just grow apart. Ain't no hate. Ain't no villain. Just time. Ain't no villain. Just time." And for the first time, the internet didn't roast, it listened. The comments were supportive, reflective, almost emotional. People realized this wasn't a scandal anymore. It was the public end of an era. Tiny ended her live with one line that broke the timeline in half. "I'll always be proud of him." But sometimes love's last act is letting go. That clip alone racked up over 30 million views. Fans dubbed it the most mature breakup in hip-hop history. Others said, "That's closure, Atlanta style." By the time the dust settled, both of them had done the impossible. They turned public heartbreak into mutual grace. T.I. reclaimed his dignity. Tiny reclaimed her peace, and the culture got a front-row seat to the rawest, most human celebrity saga of the year. No villains. No winners. Just truth, and deep down, even the trolls knew they'd just watched the final episode of a love story that defined a generation. Because when it comes to T.I. and Tiny, it was never just about fame or fortune. It was about two people who built an empire, lost themselves inside it, and finally learned that even royalty bleeds. The king and queen of the South had fallen, but they fell with grace. And in this game of fame, that's the rarest victory of all, still. The internet being the internet, it didn't end there. Rumors of a tell-all interview started floating. Whispers of a reality reboot circled, and fans began saying, "They'll be back. They always are. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't." But one thing's for sure, the love story of T.I. and Tiny will forever live in the algorithm's Hall of Fame. A tale of loyalty, betrayal, pain, and pride, expeditiously unforgettable. And that right there is how the empire of love, loyalty, and legacy came crashing down in real time. The king and queen of the South didn't just trend, they rewrote the definition of public heartbreak. From the secret wedding leaks to the emotional lives to that haunting freestyle that had the whole world holding its breath. This wasn't gossip anymore. It was history. Broadcasts live on every timeline. But let's keep it real, if you've been glued to this story like a detective with popcorn, you already know what's next. Because in this world of fame, nothing stays secret for long and nobody stays silent forever. So do yourself a favor, smash that like button like you just caught the tea first, hit subscribe before the next bombshell drops, and ring that notification bell like it owes you child support. Because on this channel, Trend Tattle, we don't chase the story. We become the story. Every scandal, every meltdown, every leaked DM that shakes the culture, we're there. Spilling it expeditiously. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was Tiny wrong for moving on? Or did T.I. finally face the karma he's been dodging since the family hustle days? I want to see y'all debate like the Shade Room comments section on fire. Until next time, remember, in celebrity love stories, there's no such thing as happily ever after. There's only happily for now until the next headline explodes. This is Trend Tattle, where gossip meets glory, heartbreak meets headlines. And every scandal burns just bright enough to light up the internet. Stay messy, stay curious, and as always, stay expeditiously tuned in.